If you think buying Mercedes automatically means you bought a luxury car, you're falling for a massive marketing trap. The three-pointed star is stamped onto everything from front-wheel drive commuter pods to multi-million-dollar hypercars running actual Formula One powertrains. If you want to know where the marketing ends and the true engineering begins, you have to look past the ambient lighting and look at the chassis. Here are the 7 levels of Mercedes-Benz. Level 1, the entry-level illusion, A-Class, CLA, GLB. We begin at the absolute floor of the lineup. These are cars like the A-Class, the CLA, and the GLB compact crossover. To the uninitiated, this is a ticket into the luxury club. To an engineer, it is a masterclass in platform sharing and cost optimization. These vehicles ride on the MFA2 architecture. Unlike the classic rear-wheel drive layouts that built the brand's reputation for nose-heavy high-speed stability, the MFA2 platform is a transverse front-wheel drive layout. This configuration is chosen for 2 distinct reasons. It maximizes cabin space within a small footprint, and it is significantly cheaper to mass-produce. Under the bonnet, you are not getting a hand-assembled powerhouse from a falterback. Instead, you find a traversely mounted 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. While competent, its mechanical architecture is fundamentally similar to what we would find in an everyday mainstream hatchback. The driving dynamics reflect this reality. Step inside, and the visual team has done an exceptional job. You're greeted by twin digital displays, turbine-style air vents, and 64-color ambient lighting reflecting off every surface. But look closer, and the cost-cutting reveals itself. For the material density, lower down on the door cards and transmission tunnel, soft-touch leather gives way to hard, scratchy plastics. For the acoustic isolation, the sound deadening is minimal compared to higher tiers. At highway speeds, road roar and tire hum breach the cabins at levels that would make old-school Mercedes engineers shudder. Level 1 of Mercedes exists for one singular purpose, to capture aspiring buyers with aspirational marketing, trading mechanical quality for a badge presence. Level 2, the Corporate Fleet Standard, C-Class and GLC. Moving up to Level 2 brings us to the traditional backbone of the brand, the C-Class sedan and its highest selling crossover sibling, the GLC. This is where the true Mercedes mechanical layer actually begins, utilizing the longitudinal MRA2 platform. By mounting the engine longitudinally, north-south rather than east-west, Mercedes achieves a near-ideal front-to-rear weight distribution. Power is routed strictly to the rear wheels, or distributed via the 4-matic all-wheel drive system. The front suspension moves to a sophisticated double wishbone design, which uncouples the steering forces from the suspension travel. This mechanical change is immediately noticeable through the steering wheel. The front end feels unburdened, tracking straight with a heavy planted feel on the motorway. Mechanically, however, Level 2 has undergone a massive philosophical shift. The smooth, naturally aspirated V6 engines of yesteryear are gone, replaced entirely by highly strung 2-liter 4-cylinder power plants paired with 48 mild hybrid systems. Even the high-performance AMG C63 has traded its legendary 4-liter twin-turbo V8 for a complex, heavily boosted 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid setup. While the performance numbers are undeniable on paper, the tactile experience is different. At idle and low speeds, a 4-cylinder engine inherently lacks the primary and secondary mechanical balance of a 6- or 8-cylinder engine. There is a minor, high-frequency vibration and a coarser engine note that the acoustic glass tries desperately to hide. Inside, Level 2 heavily mirrors the layout of the flagship S-Class, featuring a massive waterfall-style central touchscreen. It looks incredibly futuristic, but it places the majority of vehicle functions behind glass menus, removing the solid tactile switchgear that once defined German luxury. Level 2 is highly competent, sharp, and technologically advanced, but operates firmly within the boundaries of high-volume corporate fleet production. Level 3, the true executive baseline, E-Class and GLE. Level 3 is where the genuine no-compromise Mercedes-Benz experience truly settles in. This tier is occupied by the E-Class sedan and the GLE mid-size SUV. Historically, This is the segment that taxi drivers across continental Europe would run for 500,000 kilometers without a single interior rattle. It is built to endure. The major mechanical upgrade here is the availability of the 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 engine. An inline-6 configuration is inherently balanced. The firing order creates a natural cancellation of reciprocating forces, resulting in an engine that is silky smooth from idle all the way to redline. When paired with the optional airmatic suspension, the driving dynamic undergoes a complete transformation. Instead of reacting to imperfections in the tarmac, an E-Class fitted with air suspension floats over them. The system uses active damping that adjusts every individual wheel millisecond by millisecond, absorbing high-frequency imperfections before they can transfer into the chassis. The build quality also takes a massive leap forward. For structural solidness, the door thud at level 3 changes from a metallic click to a deep airtight thud. For panel tolerances, interior panel gaps are shrunk to fractions of a millimeter. The dashboard can be specified with the MBUX superscreen, a massive sheet of glass stretching across the cabin, but beneath that tech is a structure built with heavy sound deadening mats behind the firewall to isolate the cabin from the mechanical ecosystem completely. As for the verdict, Level 3 does not just look expensive, it is engineered to feel structurally dense. Level 4, the Flagship Standard, S-Class and GLS. Level 4 brings us to the absolute pinnacle of the core line, the S-Class sedan and the GLS full-size SUV. For decades, the S-Class has served as a benchmark for the entire automotive industry. It is the vehicle chosen to debut technologies that eventually trickle down to everyday family cars 15 years later. At this level, the engineering priority shifts entirely towards the rear seat passengers. The wheelbase is elongated, pushing the rear axle far behind the cabin to eliminate high-speed pitch. This tier offers the engineering marvel known as the E-Active Body Control. The suspension system uses a stereo camera mounted behind the rear view mirror to scan the road surface ahead in real time. If it detects a pothole or a speed hump 15 meters ahead, it pre-compresses or relaxes the air struts at the exact millisecond of impact, effectively neutralizing the obstacle. Isolation at level 4 is absolute. The glass is dual paned and laminated with an acoustic membrane inside. The wheel arches are lined with specialized acoustic felt to absorb tire slap, and the body pillars are injected with expanding acoustic foam during assembly to prevent wind whistle at 250 km per hour. Under the bonnet, you can access to smooth inline-6 or the effortless heavy-hitting 4-liter twin-turbo V8. The power delivery is deliberately tuned to be linear and non-aggressive. The 9-speed automatic transmission is programmed to skip gears and slip its clutches imperceptibly, ensuring that passengers never feel a sudden surge of torque or a sharp downshift. It is an automotive isolation chamber designed for heads of state and corporate executives who require absolute detachment from the outside world. Level 5, the sub-brand specialists, AMG GT and G-Wagon. Level 5 represents a complete departure from traditional luxury isolation, moving into the highly focused realm of the sub-brand specialists. Here we find the standalone Mercedes-AMG GT Coupe and the legendary G-Class. These vehicles are not built on high-volume production lines. They were engineered by specialized divisions to dominate two entirely opposite extremes of performance. Let's look at the AMG GT. This is not a standard Mercedes coupe with a body kit. It features a bespoke aluminium space frame architecture designed to maximize torsional rigidity under extreme cornering loads. The engine is a hand-assembled 4-liter twin-turbo V8 crafted under the one-man, one-engine philosophy at Alfalterbach. Mechanically, it uses a hot-inside V configuration, where the turbochargers are nested directly between the cylinder banks. This drastically shortens the exhaust gas path to the turbine wheels, virtually eliminating turbo lag and providing instantaneous throttle response. On the other side of level 5 sits the G-Wagon. While modern luxury updates have brought ambient lighting and leather to the interior, underneath it remains an unyielding military-grade machine. It utilizes a heavy-duty ladder frame chassis, a mechanical layout completely separate from the body that allows for immense structural twisting over rough terrain. Unlike almost every soft-roader crossover on the market, the G-Class features 3 independent mechanically locking differentials: front, center, and rear. When engaged, they force all four wheels to turn at the exact same speed, regardless of traction, allowing the vehicle to climb vertical rock faces. The doors are hung on exposed heavy-duty hinges, requiring a deliberate mechanical force to slam shut with the distinct sound of a bolt-action rifle. Level 5 rejects corporate compromise to deliver pure, unadulterated mechanical capability. Level 6, the pinnacle of ultimate luxury, Mercedes-Maybach. When an S-Class is no longer exclusive enough, you step into Level 6, Mercedes-Maybach. This tier takes the standard flagship architectures and extends the wheelbase even further, by an additional 18 centimeters, entirely dedicated to rear seat legroom, re-engineering the rear doors so they can be operated electronically at the touch of a button. The crowning mechanical achievement at this level is the preservation of the 6-litre twin-turbo V12 engine in the flagship Maybach S680. In an era dominated by downsizing and strict emission regulations, this V12 stands as a monument to engineering excess. A V12 engine offers perfect primary and secondary balance. Its power delivery is completely seamless, producing 621 horsepower and a massive 900 Nm of torque without ever feeling strained. Acceleration feels less like an internal combustion process and more like an effortless, silent wave of kinetic energy. Inside the Maybach, the manufacturing tolerances shift to hand-finished standards. For the material selection, every single surface, including the headliner, sun visor and entire door pillars, is wrapped in high-grade Napa leather. For the rear suite, the rear seats are individual executive sanctuaries that recline up to 43.5 degrees, featuring calf rests, heated armrests, and an active neck warming function. For the acoustic countermeasures, the vehicle employs an active road noise cancellation system integrated into the Burmester 4D surround sound system. Microphones in the wheel wells pick up low-frequency road frequencies, and the speakers emit an inverted anti-phase sound wave to cancel out the noise before it even reaches your eardrums. It is an absolute fortress of wealth and engineering refinement. Level 7, the Motorsport Anomaly, Mercedes-AMG 1. Finally, we reach Level 7, an echelon so exclusive, complex, unhinged, that it barely belongs in the same conversation as a road-going car, the Mercedes-AMG 1. Limited to just 275 units globally, this is not a hypercar with a racing body kit. It is a literal, street-legal Formula 1 car, built around a carbon fiber monocoque chassis. At the heart of the AMG 1 is a 1.6-litre turbocharged V6 hybrid engine, lifted directly from the multiple championship-winning Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 car. The engineering hurdles required to make this engine road legal were immense. A true F1 engine idle sits around 5,000 RPM and requires external preheating fluids to turn over. The engineers at Falterback spent years reprogramming and modifying the valve train to allow it to idle smooth at 1,200 RPM, pass strict global emission tests and start reliably via a standard push button, all while retaining an astronomical red line of 11,000 RPM. The powertrain is a staggering web of motorsport technology. The MGU-H is an electric motor mounted directly on the shaft connecting the exhaust turbine and the compressor wheel. It uses exhaust energy to spin up the turbo instantly, completely eliminating turbo lag before the mechanical exhaust gases even arrive. The MGU-K is a 120 kilowatt electric motor geared directly to the engine crankshaft to feed power straight into the rear wheels. For the front axle drive, two additional electric motors sit on the front axle, providing full torque vectoring capabilities and bringing the total system output to a massive 1,063 horsepower. The chassis features push-rod suspension struts mounted transversely, completely eliminating the need for traditional anti-roll bars. Under heavy aerodynamic load, the vehicle's active aero system opens louvers on the front fenders and extends a massive two-stage rear wing to generate hundreds of kilograms of mechanical downforce. The AMG 1 requires a specialized starting procedure. Its internal combustion components have a hard mechanical lifespan of 50,000 kilometers before requiring a complete factory build. And the cabin is stripped of all luxury, offering only raw carbon fiber, fixed bucket seats bolted directly to the tub, and a rectangular F1 steering wheel with LED shift lights. It is the absolute peak of automotive engineering, showing exactly what happens when the engineers are given total authority over the accountants. From front-wheel drive commuter cars to hypercars with an F1 pulse, Mercedes-Benz proved that a badge is only as deep as the platform it rides on. If you want to see more deep dive looking past the marketing and into the true mechanical history of these brands, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. Drop a comment below and let me know which level of Mercedes is the absolute benchmark, and which one is a total waste of money. Next time you see a three-pointed star on the road, look past the grille. The true story is always written in the chassis.